Throughout our lives, we encounter adventures and memorable events. Making the most of these events is key, because these adventures create milestones in our lives, and what better way to document these milestones than through books? Milestones, big or small, but they all hold a special place in our hearts. The accomplishments may be personal, such as graduating from school or getting a promotion at work, or they may be shared with others, such as getting married or even having a child. These books can serve as a reminder of the hard work and dedication that went into reaching that goal. They can capture the memories and emotions associated with it, and they can be cherished for years to come. No matter what the milestone is, capture it in a book.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the book launch of Looking for Heaven by Enrico Nunez. I am Dr. Kamika Ruth Taylor, and I am so excited about this book launch because we're going to be talking about our favorite pets, especially dogs, because this book was inspired by our pets. It was inspired by a dog named Victor. You're going to learn more about him. And if you can look at the cover, we also have a cat there. We have a bird. And we're going to find out all about that. It is often said that a dog is a man's best friend. And if you haven't gotten your copy, I want you to go get your copy. And so we want to start off this evening with a little song about dogs. And if you are a dog lover, let us know the name of your family dog. If you have a pet, what kind of pet do you have? I was about to lift up my cat and show you, but I think she has disappeared. And let us know where you're joining us from. If you're a friend of the family, put some congratulations in the comments. We are so proud of Mr. Nunez for creating this book that your family will love. And we hope that all over America, because you are the dog-loving nation, that you will go grab this book and read it with your family. So let's get started with a song about dogs. A dog is a friend. So let me know the name of your dog in the comment section and what's the name of your family dog.
A dog is a friend who waits for you, plays with you, stays with you. A dog is a friend who won't let you down. People leave, but dogs stick around. All my life I prayed for someone, that perfect love that never comes. All my nights I'd end up alone, till a four-legged stranger came and walked me home. A dog is a friend who takes your part, eats your food and steals your heart. A dog is a friend who'll never lie, just love you till the day they die. All my life I prayed for someone, that perfect love that never comes. All my nights I'd end up alone, till a four-legged stranger came and walked me home. A dog is a friend, that's right. A dog is a friend for life. A dog is a friend who won't let you down. People leave, the dogs stick around.
All right, so I'm hearing from, is this Trisha? She's saying, yay, Rico. So we have Team Rico. We also have Sarah saying, we love Rico Suave. And people are excited. So I am doing this live with my pet, and my pet is Tia. So, what pet do you have? Do you have pet dogs? Do you have pet cats? Can you type the name of your pet in the chat? Because in our first segment, we're going to talk about Victor and remembering Victor and some interesting fun facts about dogs. So, let me tell you what you're in for. So you're in for an educational and inspirational treat. This launch is a little bit different. It is a family event, and we're going to have the family sharing in 3 different segments. We have endorsements from family and friends, and we're just going to talk about this book, what inspired it, and we want to encourage more of you to write books. And we're also going to be talking about our book drive to get more of these books in the hands of young readers across Jamaica, especially in the parishes affected by Hurricane Melissa. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Jillian says, fantastic. She is so very proud. So we're about to bring on stage members of the Nunez family, because this book publication was a family effort. Well, let me tell you about the author. We have Aquila in the building, friends and neighbors of Enrico and the Nunez family. Congratulations on the book. So Enrico was born in Jamaica and now calls Florida home. He's a general contractor by trade and an artist at heart. And I met him today for the first time, and he's already thinking about book 2. He filled his daughter's childhood with imaginative stories inspired by his beloved dog, Victor. And now he's sharing these joyful adventures with children and family everywhere in Looking for Haven. And so Looking for Haven is on Amazon and will be on other stores soon. So if you haven't gotten your copy, now is the time. All right, so let's welcome the family to the stage. The author of the evening, Enrico Nunez, his wife, Jacqueline Nunez, and his daughter, Kimberly. Send up some hearts, send up some fire. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm so
Hi.
excited for you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So let's get the conversation going. We want to talk about some fun facts about dogs, especially American dogs versus Jamaican dogs. And since you guys are Jamaicans, when you moved to the US, what were some of the things that you discovered that was kind of like a shock to you? Let's start with Enrico. Differences between Jamaica, how Jamaican treat dogs, and Americans, how we
Well,
treat dogs.
first we grew up in Jamaica. Dogs are outside and we are inside.
True.
In America, we are inside and dogs are inside. They grew up inside with us, which was not normal in Jamaica. I mean, I've seen it more happening now in Jamaica, but that back in when I was growing up, that wasn't normal. So when we came to the US, it was different.
That's true.
What about you, Jackie?
I see that advocacy and concern is very high here. 80% of Americans are concerned about the welfare and protection of their pets. There's over 90 million dogs here in the US, and the majority of them are in a family home. So that just tells you how high the concern is for their pets, and taking care of them and making sure they get the best care, health wise and loving wise. So yeah, very important here.
So pets are like part of the family. What about you?
Definitely.
What about you, Kimberly?
Well, I only ever really got to experience having pets in the US. But I've been in Jamaica for about a week now, and I've seen a lot of stray dogs around the place. It seems like that's kind of a problem here. But when we had Victor, who inspired the story, I would say he was a little bit spoiled. And I got comments from mommy and daddy sometimes about how they couldn't imagine a dog being this spoiled in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So right. What about how Americans feed dogs versus how we Jamaicans feed dogs? What about that?
Well, in Jamaica, it was turn called meal and every scrap
Chicken back.
from dinner, leftover fish, leftover chicken, whatever was left over, went in this big pot. So nothing was wasted, and then you stir it up with cornmeal and fed the dogs. Versus canned food and
Dry food
for dogs in America.
and dry food.
We couldn't feed them scraps because they were so delicate,
Yeah, kind of.
you know.
Yep. And very expensive.
Yeah.
I agree. And who do you think is stronger? Let's start a little war here. Jamaican dogs or American dogs?
Jamaican dog.
Jamaican dogs.
Jamaican dogs are strong. Jamaican dogs are survivors. Woohoo!
They have to be, yeah.
Yeah.
And before we talk a little bit about the dog who inspired this story, Victor, I'm going to share an interesting video that talks about America's dog obsession. And you see, because America is obsessed with dogs, every American needs to get this book. All right? Because it honors and it celebrates dogs. So let's go to that video.
But how deep does this obsession go? Today, we're talking about America's dog obsession and some pretty wild facts. But how deep does this obsession really go? Well, it's bigger and way more expensive than you think. Okay, first up, let's talk numbers. The sheer scale of this is pretty mind-blowing. So get this, the US has more pet dogs than any other country on the planet, period. We're talking over 90 million dogs living in American homes. It's just a massive number. And with that many dogs, you know Americans are spending a ton of money on them. How much money? Try over $100 billion every single year. And that's not just food and vet bills. Think doggy spas, hotels, the whole shebang. All this spending really points to a huge cultural shift. Dogs are way more than just pets now. You know it. In so many homes, dogs are treated just like another member of the family. So if they're family, how do you celebrate their big day? With a birthday party, of course. Yep, dog birthday parties are a real thing. We're talking dog-friendly cakes, decorations, even other dog guests. And this human treatment doesn't just stop at parties. It goes right into their closets. Dog fashion is a massive industry. Sweaters, raincoats, Halloween costumes, you name it, they wear it. Okay, which brings us to the most modern twist on this whole dog obsession, the digital world. Believe it or not, some of the most famous American celebrities today actually have 4 paws. I'm not kidding. We're talking about dogs with literally millions of followers on social media. And yeah, they're making real money from brand deals and sponsorships. It's a legitimate career. They're not just pets anymore, are they? They're personalities, and they're even brands. So let's recap. A massive population, billions in spending, parties, fashion, and even online fame. From the raw numbers to social media stardom, it's clear dogs are a huge part of the American fabric.
So, what does this super deep relationship with our dogs really say about us?
All right. So you get that dog parties. Have you ever had a dog party, birthday party?
No.
No, but now thinking about it, we should have. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trendy. There is a Jamaican dog on Instagram that now has thousands of followers. His name is Rex. So Rex has a whole crew. So Jamaicans are becoming more Americanized. I even saw recently on Instagram where in Portmore, which we want to make a third city, that they have a park dedicated to animals. See, Portmore gets Jamaica's first
Wow.
dog park.
Wow.
I'm like, is this
That's
Jamaica
nice.
or is this America?
That's very nice.
So maybe one of these days we can pack some books and go to the park and see what is happening and mingle with all of these. And somebody asks, are the mongrels invited or is it just pedigree?
That's a good one.
The Americans in the
I'm
chat know
glad
what a mongrel is.
All are invited.
All are invited. And then somebody in the comments said, do not call them mongrels. They are Caribbean terriers.
Oh,
A name for that.
Sophisticated.
And most
Okay.
of us discovered them, they're brown terriers, when the Canadian animal people came out, and a lot of Jamaican dogs. You hear Kimberly talking about the strays, and they collected all of these dogs and took them to Canada, and they were enclosed and eating all kinds of luxury food. And it was quite the rave in Jamaica, how these dogs got visas and we cannot get visas. So that leads us to Victor. Talk to us about Victor. Who was Victor?
who's going to start?
Okay. Victor was our family dog when me and my sister were kids. I think I was around 9 or 10, and Sarah, my sister, was around 7. One of our family members couldn't take care of her dog anymore. So I don't remember if she brought
She
him.
asked, she asked us.
Yeah, she brought him to stay with us, and we fell in love with him because we ended up keeping him. And the first thing I remember about him was when I first saw him, his eyes were this deep brown, and they to me looked like human eyes. I couldn't get over it. He was this little, he had white fur. He was a Shih Tzu mix. This pretty little tail and this dainty little trot that I'll never forget. He was a really sweet dog.
He was. There were times when, whenever we used to go to the park a lot, and we still do, and you could not mention, if you said park, or if he saw that you were packing up the car,
and you guys
with the park stuff, he would just get so excited. It's like, yes, we are going to the park. And he was just full of excitement, and he just made us laugh so much. He was a very, very
having some technical difficulties. Can you guys hear me?
yes.
Okay, Jackie, go ahead. You were saying something about Victor.
I'm backstage. It says I'm backstage.
But you are not backstage. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm going to play an endorsement from Sarah and then get back to the discussion on
Victor.
So Apologies, apologies. All right. So Sarah is one of Enrico's daughters. So you've met Kimberly, and we're going to meet the grandchildren. Hopefully this will work.
Huge congratulations to Pop Ups for this book. We absolutely loved reading it. There were some parts that were. Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah. I'm Enrico's daughter, and then this is my son Richard. This is
Amelia.
This is Enrico's granddaughter. We call Enrico Pop Ups, and we just wanted to say a huge congratulations to Pop Ups for this book. We absolutely loved reading it. There were some parts that were very funny and others that were very heartwarming. And the story of Victor was actually inspired by my childhood dog and Enrico's dog from a few years back. Victor was a very special dog to us. He held a very, very special place in our hearts. And in fact, quite a few of the characters in this book were inspired by real dogs that we've had and known throughout our lives. So that was a extra special touch with this book for us. But Pop Ups did an incredible job writing this book. Emmy, what was your favorite part?
When Victor saved Leonidas from the cages.
Yeah.
I mean the sanctuary.
Yeah, that was a really, really sweet part. She absolutely loved this book. She belly laughed so many times reading this book with me. So we just wanted to say a huge congratulations again. Pop Ups did an incredible job writing this. We love you, and we cannot wait for part 2.
All right. So we've heard from Sarah and Amelia. Right. Yes. So I don't know what keeps happening here, but what are some of your fondest memories of Victor, Jackie?
I remember when we were packing up to go to the park. Whenever we were going to the park, Victor he would just know. He would just see the things going into the truck or the car, and it was like, yes, eyes were bright and the tail was up, and he'd start with the zoomies. It was just pure excitement. And even for going on walks, you could not say the word walk. You couldn't say a word that rhymed with walk because he knew what the word walk meant. So Victor was very smart and very happy, and we did our utmost best to give him the best life that we could. Mm-hmm. Those are things I remember about him that makes me happy.
Okay. What about you, Enrico? You wrote the book, but what's your fondest memories about Victor? 1 second, I'm not hearing.
Sorry, we turned off the mic because there were dogs barking.
Well, it's a pet show, right?
Yeah, so,
yeah, what's your fondest memories about?
I used to go for walks with the kids on their school, and I would walk in there, and I had the scooters, and they would put the chain on the scooter, and Victor would just take off with them down the road, and I would chasing after them to stop Victor so they wouldn't crash or to run out in the road. So that was one of my fondest memories, apart from carrying for walks. But part of the walking was going to become part of the story.
Awesome sauce. What about you, Kimmy?
Some of my fondest memories also were when we used to take Victor for walks. Like Daddy said, he used to pull me and my sister when we were on the scooter. Thinking about it now, we probably should have gotten him a harness.
Yeah.
Poor thing. And then when we used to take him to the park, he was always so well behaved, but he could sense when we were getting close to the park, and he would just start whining in the car, and it used to drive us nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was cute how excited he used to get. So the annoyance turned into a fun memory.
I love it. So let's turn the tide a little. How did Victor pass away, and how did you guys honor Victor's life with his passing?
He was 2.5 years old when we adopted him from our family member. And when he got old, he started having health problems. I don't remember if it was a tumor. I think it was a tumor on his liver or one of his vital organs, and it was getting harder for him to go on walks, and you could see him struggling. And then one day he just kind of had a seizure. Yeah, it was a combination of old age and health problems. We had to go to the vet with him that day.
And what happened after? You just took him to the vet?
We had to put him down. And I was actually looking into his eyes when the vet injected him. And then I think we got him cremated, and eventually we went to
his paw print. We have his paw print. And the box that his ashes were in, and we kept it for a long while, the ashes, until we decided to take him to the park, and we dispersed his ashes in the water. And then park warden came over. You're not supposed to be doing that. So we're like,
it's organic matter.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It was sad though. I mean, even up until recently, I still get dreams about him, and part of me feels like he's visiting me in my dreams.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we really loved him.
It's amazing because it's similar when to humans, when people are around. It must have been very sad having the dog so long. I remember when we lost a dog that we were very attached to. We called him Skeezer. He was a Caribbean Terrier. And Skeezer I don't remember what happened, but he fell ill and he passed away. And I was in high school. I think my sister may have been in high school as well, and my brother, and we had a funeral for our dog.
That's awesome.
I mean, a real funeral that we dug a grave, and we gathered around and we talked about, our remembrance of Skeezer, and we honored him. And even though we were in the inner city, that's what we did. Now I'm recognizing that's an American thing.
Oh, yeah.
It brought us closure, and we still have fond memories of Skeezer. So for those of you in the chat, if you had a dog that passed away, how did you choose to honor the dog, or what did you do when your pet passed away? Did you have a funeral? I've seen where people even get a coffin, in a doggy coffin, and different things. And so the pets are really part of our family. So HF Saran says, Rinky and Dinky need to learn a little more about proper hydration.
Well, they're puppies, so they didn't know any better.
They didn't know any better.
They'll grow up and learn.
Right. So dogs and pets in general are
that's
indeed
Hector saying
family.
that.
Kim.
Oh, hi, Hector.
Kim.
Okay, and then we have somebody, Akila, talking about the book.
That's a
I love
yes.
Leonidas in the book, but keep Rinky and Dinky away from him in the next book, please. Now, for those who haven't read the book, who is Leonidas?
That's the lion.
Oh, so that's this big guy here on the cover.
Yeah, and the two little pups. Two little pups are looking up at him.
That's Rinky and Dinky.
They're in love with him.
This looked like a scene, out of Isaiah 61, or the lion and the dogs will lie together, and birds. Do they all get along?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, we need to read to find out how is that possible. Well, let's talk about the making of the book since we're talking characters. How did this book come about? What role did each of you play? Because it was a family project. Let's start with the author. No, let's not start with him because he wrote it. But let's
I
hear
wrote the
from
book.
Kimberly. What was your role in this process? Then we'll go to Jackie and then we'll come back to Enrico. What was your role in the making of this book?
I've been calling myself Enrico's creative assistant. It's really just a fancy way to say that I helped with the editing.
This is what it looked like when I wrote it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
She translated it into proper English.
So he gave me the pages and pages and pages that look like this. And then I had to decode everything and type everything up. It was fun.
Pages and pages is not an exaggeration.
He had everything handwritten.
So you see, we're coming from the old school, handwriting, and then you have to get it on the computer. Okay.
I can't type.
You can't type?
No, not at
Oh,
all.
We're
wow.
faster than I type.
Trisha says, go, Kimmy. Thank you very much, Kimmy.
It was fun. It was a good
And
experience.
so if there are other books and you have them on paper, try to find one of your children or grandchildren to help you. And Bamboo Sparks will help you to turn it into a book. What about you, Jackie? What was your role?
I provided support and encouragement. If he needed advice, I would try to give him the best that I could with the editing and the piecing together of his ideas. I was the liaison between you, the publisher, and my husband to make sure that meetings were arranged and setting up the Amazon account and anything to do with making the book finish in a timely manner and make it the best that it could be. Of course, with the help of without Bamboo Sparks, it would not have been possible. So yeah, pretty much that's what I did.
Thank you. And Enrico, talk to us. What is this book about? And what inspired you in terms of, give us the core of this book and what motivated you to write it. We know that it was inspired by Victor, but talk to us.
Well, it's a story about a dog trying to find his human friend, but he has all his friends, and they try and they come together, unite, and they can't find the humans where they live, so they go they figure a place called heaven, but they can't spell, so it's haven, so they go look, but heaven is where they go looking for the dogs, which I think the humans are at, which mysteriously in the second book might be where they are at.
All right, hint for book number 2. But I believe you said one day you were watching a show.
All right, so if you want to see the story now, how the story came together was there was a series on TV about what happens to the world if humans were to vanish. They showed what happened to bridges, power plants, ships, cars, houses, buildings, what the deterioration to these places are, but they never really spoke about what happened to the animals. And I was thinking about it and saying, well, what's going to happen to the small dogs or the dogs? I know the big dogs are going to form packs, but the small dogs would be at a disadvantage. So I figured that maybe if a bunch of dogs came together, they'd be stronger together. So that's where the base of the story started. Then where were the humans? How would the story evolve? They had to go looking for them. because they couldn't find any there anywhere in the neighborhood or in the surrounding neighborhoods.
That's interesting because as a church girl, we always talk about the rapture and being left behind, but we're always looking at the humans left behind. I never thought about what's going to happen to all the animals.
All the animals
So
on the planet, what's going to happen to them?
so the whole idea of the humans have disappeared. What's going to happen to the animals? And if you want to find out what happened, go get the book, Looking for Haven. It's in hardcover, paperback, and ebook format. And one of your readers, your friends are here. We have Hector and Aquila. Is it Aquila?
Yes.
Yes. And they have sent a note of congratulations. And I'm going to play that right now.
Our wonderful copy or hardbook copy of Look. Hello everyone, good evening. This is the Serrano family. My name is Hector with my wife,
Aquila.
And it is Easter Sunday, and it is nighttime, but we just received our wonderful copy or hardbook copy of Looking for Haven. And we read the whole thing. Congratulations, Mr. Nunez, for writing a fantastic children's novel. I can't say I have a particular favorite part because all of the parts were favorites. But I do have to say that Victor's leadership is on point. For someone who, for a dog, who didn't think he was appropriate for the task, he really demonstrated some courage and many other things. And I'll let Aquila fill in the rest.
That is correct. We enjoyed the book. We read the whole thing, and it certainly is a story of courage and bravery. And through the many challenges that Victor and crew had faced throughout their journey, they certainly persevered, and including some internal challenges within the group itself. We thought was pretty.
The trials and tribulations of a team. And then the one thing that I wanted to add, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but the one thing that I wanted to add is the common thread of working as a team and unity, which is so important for youngsters and folks of all ages, honestly. So, fantastic book. We definitely recommend it to kids of all ages and even adults. Yes. I enjoyed it. We found ourselves chuckling. We found ourselves thinking and thinking, oh, what's going to happen? It's challenging. It keeps you almost on the edge of your bed, your chair, wherever
just
you
wanting
to be
to know what the next challenge
is. And it was funny. It really had some funny moments. So, fantastic job, Enrico.
A lot of cute characters with different personalities. We certainly recommend the book.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
All right. So
Thank you,
without
guys.
giving any spoilers, you hear trials and tribulations. Thank you very much, Hector and Aquila. So they talked about that a lesson from the book is about teamwork. What are some other lessons that we can learn from this book? Who wants to answer that? Go ahead, Jackie.
Accepting others and their, let's just say their disabilities or, their inadequacies. Because in the book, Hop Along with his one leg, he was being, teased, or, one of the dogs said something, hurtful to him. And Victor said, no, don't. He did not stand for it. So it shows that even if you have a disability or, something else that, it's just an inadequacy is the best word I can come up with right now. For people to stand up, or in the book, the dog to stand up for him is a good lesson to be learned, accept others for their differences.
I love that. So the book teaches you to accept people with their differences. So that's good. And it is doing it through these characters, these animals. What about you, Kimberly? What lessons does the book hold for children or its readers?
Well, like we've touched on teamwork already, my answer would have been unity. We see animals of all different shapes and sizes coming together to survive. And I think even if it's not a survival situation, we can learn a lot from the characters in this book about how important it is to unite. And another lesson that I really like from the story is it encourages us to have empathy for creatures, for all living creatures. Because some moments in the book, we get to see how some other animals feel about humans disappearing, and it's not all great. So I think that was a good lesson. Probably my favorite lesson from the book.
Unity, and yes, I love that. So we get leadership, teamwork, unity, appreciating people,
Others for their
others.
shortcomings. Yeah.
It's about diversity,
Yes.
which is good. All right. What about you, Mr. Nunez? What other lesson can we find in the book to encourage families to get this book?
Well, it's a story of courage and taking a step out into the unknown. Even when even when it's hard to do it, you have to just take the step forward and do it, which is one of the challenges I have with the book. Someone told me just do it, but it was, hard because you don't know what you're gonna face when you do it. So it's like Victor stepping out in the unknown world with a pack of guys that are unsure. It shows you that you have to sometimes get the courage to do stuff beyond what is your normal. So, and that will bring me to a part of the story where I'll let you know later when you ask me what's my favorite part of the book.
Yeah. There's also the part of the strength in numbers.
Yeah,
Strength in numbers. Yeah.
And I find that your Jamaicanness just came out in the book. We have a saying in Jamaica, little but talawa.
There you go.
And so this story, because Victor is a small dog. And, there's opposition from the bigger dogs. And he's taking on this big
that
thing.
part of the story with Victor and those two dogs is real.
That happened. Well, let's not give away any more of it. But the show, the book, which I hope can become a movie one day. It really. So if you're out there listening, Netflix, and all of you who have the money and resources for film, this book, Looking for Haven, what happens to the animals when the humans disappear? This is a good film idea. The author is Enrico Nunez. And you can send us a pitch, okay? You can contact us at bamboosparks.com or admin at bamboosparks.com, and we will talk about it. So we're little, but with talawa. Victor and his crew, them little, but them talawa. So yes, you segued into it. What was your favorite part of the story without giving away a spoiler per se? Who wants to go first?
I really like the scenes with Leonidas. Those scenes are quite funny because that line is just silly. And I also like the parts where they run into other animals on their journey. It's thought-provoking.
All right. Yolanda says she's going to purchase it for her great-grands. Thank you, Yolanda. We appreciate it. And remember, we also have a book drive. I'm going to talk a little more about that in the second half. So that was your favorite part. So now I am going to play another endorsement, and this one is from the first person to have bought the book, and her dog was also featured in the book. And so do you know who we're talking about? Is she in the building? It's Donna. And so Donna is going to bring her note of congratulations. Thank you, Donna, for being such a good neighbor and friend.
Hi, Rico. Donna here, giving you my congratulations on your first book. And speaking of first, I got the book. I believe I was the first one to ever get your book and to have it signed. Woo! Well, I really enjoyed the book. Very impressed. You're so creative and imaginative. I really enjoyed it. So many different stories. The imagination that runs wild in all these stories and adventures. Quest of belonging, of love, of family, loyalty. Lots of adventure, friendship, survival. Lots of funny parts, and the bond between human and animals and their pets. I really recommend the reading. It's a fun read, a great read for adults and children alike. Enjoy. Congrats on your first and many more to come. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Donna. And Donna, did you tell me today that one of the animals in the book was inspired by Donna's dog? Is that so?
Rico?
I think they're frozen. Go ahead, Jackie.
Yes, Peeboo.
Peeboo.
Peeboo, yes, she's a Chihuahua. The Chihuahua, the black dog, the little black dog that's in the picture on the front of the book.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rico,
Go, Donna.
about Donna's dogs.
Okay, so it's really a family book. You not only talked about very often when we are writing books, we are inspired by other people's lives. So I find this very interesting about how this book is inspired by the animals around us. And so I want to congratulate you for being so creative. And I'm hearing Aquila says that something about Boom Boom. Who is Boom Boom?
Donna's dog.
So Donna.
Donna had 5 dogs.
Yeah,
she has 5 dogs. So the dogs are Peeboo is now famous. Okay.
Yeah, Peeboo.
All right. So let's get back into the writing of the book. And this is for you, Mr. Nunez. We have a question here from, I think it is Aquila. Did you ever have writer's block at any time during the writing process? So talk to us about your writing process, how long it took, and answer the question. Did you get writer's block, a time when you just could not focus on it?
No, because when I conceived when all the thoughts came together and I had done the sketch outline, I had the beginning and I had already envisioned an end. So certain things came in, like I jot down stuff. I stop somewhere, I remember it, I write it down. Then I would try and write on that page. So sometimes I had mixed up pages that this person had to rearrange and get in order.
Decode.
But I didn't. Once in a while, I might not be stuck with the whole story, but maybe a part of the story where there's certain parts I even edited out, but it didn't fit. So yes, I had a small amount of writer's block, but not a lot.
And I like that. So you're actually giving writing tips. So when you're writing fiction, and it works too for nonfiction, but you start with the end in mind and you kind of work your way backwards.
No, I just conceived the entire story from beginning to end, and then came up with the ideas in between. But the ideas in between, so I conceive a story, but I try and envision an end first. Then I would get in the middle. Yeah. Because
that's what I was saying. So you start with the end in mind. Yeah. And then you're kind of
beginning, so you have to fill in the gap. Yeah. So it might come up with a part of it that you don't know where it's going to fit yet, but you just write it down. Then we have to go through and rearrange pages because that wouldn't have fit there. That should come afterwards. So, but when you get the idea in your head,
yes,
part of the story, just write it down at the same time, no matter where you are, or even record it so you don't forget that part.
Sometimes you don't even get to record it, because when we go on our road trips, be it a short road trip or a long road trip, you'd start telling me about some stories that you've thought up in your head, and for you to remember and put them down on paper. I find that to be very, very what's the word I'm looking for?
Challenging.
Challenging. Not only that, but I don't think I'd remember the stories that he just pops up into his head, and then to put them down on the paper. So yeah, he has a very, very active imagination, and I'm very proud of him. Very proud.
Yeah,
I would encourage you to record it. So you can take out your phone and just record. Like, some of my ideas may come to me while I am doing laundry. So I just open my phone with the recorder and I just record it. Or even the same WhatsApp. There are times where I just WhatsApp myself a message from, the story. So you don't have to wait until you get pen and paper to write it down. You can just take your phone and record it when the ideas come, because sometimes you forget. Some of my books come in dreams, or just like today when we met, that idea that you gave me, I am going to use that. And so sometimes when you can't write it, just record it. So you had ideas, you started with an end, and then you jot it down on paper, right? Yeah. And then Kimberly had to type it up, and you talk about rearranging stuff. There are tools that help to do that for those who are on the computer. For example, Scrivener is a writing app that they also use to pull chapters here and there and take out this and put in that. There's also Atticus for writing. Those writing tools also help. But what about the illustration? That is very often the hardest part for those who are doing children's books. How did you tackle the illustration aspect?
Well, I'm an artist, so it wasn't hard for me to conjure up ideas of what I wanted from the book.
Images. Mm-hmm.
Images.
So the cover, Daddy came up with the idea, and we had a friend do the illustration for us on the cover, and then the rest of the images in the book were courtesy of Bamboo Sparks.
What to give them the ideas of what I wanted.
Yeah, so Daddy came up with the ideas.
Some of the ideas, yeah.
For how he wanted the pictures to look, the illustrations.
Right. So that's a part of the process that we call storyboarding. So where you have the text and you have to describe what you want in each scene, and then turn it over to the graphic designer to do that. So the author, that's an essential part of the process, the storyboarding and that work. So Herbal Beauty says, how long did it take for you to write? How many months or years?
That took me from idea to print was about 3 years. I had the idea, I had it sitting there in my head, jot it down. I never did anything with it until I met my cousin, Alexa. She encouraged me, why don't you write a book? Why don't you just,
Marcel is saying he's waiting on you.
I know, I need to sign his book. I keep forgetting to sign his book. Marcel, when I'm back on Monday, I'll sign it for you.
And Aquila is saying the illustrations were on point. Okay. And so we want to thank our illustrator. And Natalia, who was the project lead at Bamboo Sparks. Natalia is a young, bright, gifted Natalia Downer, one of the first graduates from the University of the West Indies, writing, literature, and publishing degree. She was the valedictorian.
Wow.
And she went to Campion College. And Natalia, thank you for managing the project so beautifully. and for helping with the illustrations. The illustrations were done by a young man out of, was it the Philippines? I don't remember. But Nadim, yes, Nadim. I don't remember if he's out of the Philippines, but yeah, he did a fantastic job.
He did.
All right, so we're gonna take another endorsement while you drink some water, and then we're gonna play another animal song, and then we're gonna go into our final segment, which is about the use of the book. So we're gonna take an endorsement from your niece, Laura, and go to a break.
And I have my digital. Congratulations, Rico, on the publishing of your new children's book. I'm Laura Marks, and I am Rico's niece by marriage. And I have my digital copy right here, available in digital and hard copy. I'm going to talk a little bit about the book and why I like the book. Looking for Haven is a heartfelt children's story that strongly underscores the importance of teamwork. As Victor and the other dogs navigate a world without humans, they quickly learn that survival is not something that they can manage alone. This is a powerful lesson. Each dog in the story brings different strengths, and they must work together to overcome challenges. The book does a wonderful job of teaching young readers that being a part of a team means putting the team's needs ahead of their own. Victor and his friends show bravery and teamwork, reminding readers that even in the most frightening or unsure situations, that working together can make all the difference. Again, congratulations on this book, Rico. Looking for Haven delivers a meaningful message. Teamwork builds grit, friendship, and hope when it is needed most. Wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Laura.
That was nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Just before we play the song, what was the most challenging part of the journey? Because you're working, and how did you sort that out? 'Cause when you have a full-time job and you have this massive project, what were some of the challenges and how did you overcome them?
The challenge was like writing stuff down so Kimmy could decipher them and type them out to get it to you guys. So while working at the same time, running a business, starting some houses in a different area. So it was, challenging. Sometimes you're tired and, we sent the script to you and then you sent us back to edit and then, to try and edit it back.
Back and forth, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Jackie
also got into some squabbles about how certain sections should be phrased and ordered.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
So yeah, she helped me a lot, and Jackie liaison with you guys was a great help.
Yeah, she's a
So
great
teamwork.
project manager.
Teamwork.
So teamwork. So
Yeah.
you guys modeled the very thing that underscored the book, because the book showed teamwork, and then as a family, you work together to make it happen. Can I say congratulations again? Go ahead, Kimmy.
Right, I was going to say, because even in the book, there's some tension even within the group of protagonists about the way certain things should be handled. So even when the teamwork isn't always perfect, it all comes together in the end.
Very good. Solid book. And I'm going to say it for the umpteenth time. Go get the book. So we have hard copy, we have the Kindle, we have the paperback. Go get the book. It's on Amazon and it's gonna be soon in at minimum 10 other stores, Barnes and Noble, Kobo, you name it. We're going to put it on Draft Digital, which is an aggregate distributor. And so by the end of this month, it will be beyond Amazon. So go get the book. As we enter the final segment, we are going to play another little song about dogs, because the dogs are the hero in this is really, the protagonist is Victor.
So before we go to the song,
I've always dreamed of having a friend that loves me like you do. You wake up happy every morning and take away my blues. We could spend a day in bed or explore the seven seas. I don't care what we do, darling, as long as you're with me. This is a song for my dog. Wish you could be singing along. This goes out to my best friend, 'cause life without you would feel so wrong. You wait for me all day to come home, sitting by the door. For you it's like 1,000 hours, I swear it's just been 4. I wish that we could have a conversation time to time. It'd be so nice to hear your voice and see what's on your mind. This is a song for my dog. Wish you could be singing along. This goes out to my best friend, 'cause life without you feels so wrong. And when there's a day that you must run across the rainbows, just sit and wait for me.
Ooh, that was so nice.
All right. Yes, Jackie, you were saying something before we played the song.
Yeah, I want to thank you on behalf of my family and I. You know, we would like to thank Bamboo Sparks for all that you did, the professionalism and expertise that you displayed, the company displayed from the inception to the completion of Looking for Haven. Is remarkable. I found working with Bamboo Spark very enjoyable and easy to work with. Always responded in a timely manner to our questions and concerns. Helpful, friendly, and easy to communicate with. Dr. Ruth Taylor is an exceptional publisher and owner of the business, and she has that expertise under her belt. Thank you. Thank you to you and your staff.
Thank you.
Hey.
And thank you on behalf of Natalia as well. Without Natalia, this would not
you and your staff. Yeah.
So we're winding down, but what is a book launch without a book reading? So we're going to have our creative director give us a teaser. So over to you, Kimmy.
All right. I forgot that I was going to be reading. So
That's okay.
This is an excerpt from chapter 2. Victor, come out, you little pest, so I can wring your neck. I know you're in there. Show yourself. Walking toward the window, seeming much calmer on the outside than he felt on the inside, Victor said, "What do you want?" His heart was racing, but his voice held steady. "I won't be coming out to you, and you won't be able to get in here. So why don't you just go away and leave us alone?" This enraged Sathan. He and his buddy started to run and slam themselves into the doors and windows, looking for any weaknesses. They quickly had to give up and moved to the front of the house to wait out the smaller dogs. Happy that Victor's promise of safety proved true, Everyone inside the house went to the windows to laugh at Sathan. The scary dogs continued to circle Static's house for several hours, but they became hungry and began to complain. Sathan and his pack decided to leave, ignoring all the celebratory shouts and jeers coming from the dogs inside. Sathan muttered furiously to himself, "I'm going to get that annoying Victor if it's the last thing I do." Peeboo started to see things seriously. Big dogs were closing in on them as each day went by, while Victor and friends were partying and enjoying themselves. She urged Victor to do something because they couldn't stay there much longer. "We're going to run out of food one day, and it's getting riskier to go from house to house to gather more food. Sathan and his pack are out there every day looking out for a chance to nab one of us." "Oh, Peeboo, you worry too much," Ginger said. Victor said, "I agree with Ginger. Besides, we are safe here. You worry too much." All the dogs started laughing and continued to play. After romping and eating, they were all lounging around and lazing away the evening. One of the dogs remarked, "I wonder what really happened to all the people. They all just left at the same time." Ginger said, "Maybe they went on vacation or to the next town." "That's not likely," Peeboo stated. "The humans don't go on vacation or anywhere else altogether like that." "Well, they all went somewhere, and we need to figure out where they went. It's very odd." All of a sudden, Static jumped up and said to the group, "Maybe they went to heaven." "Where?" asked Victor. "Heaven," repeated Static. Static started explaining that he had seen pictures and movies of heaven on the screen when he used to sit watching for hours with his human friend Jason. "It's a place where people in the movies always seem to want to go. It looked wonderful." "I can Google it and show you pictures," suggested Static. All those long, long hours by my Jason's side, I learned a few things about the laptop. Now I'm all excited to put my skills to use. They all gathered around the computer at Static's house as he started to search, which took a while due to his lack of spelling skills. After hours and hours of searching, he finally made a hit. Most of the other dogs had fallen asleep by then. Only Peeboo, Victor, Salem, and Ginger were still awake with him. "Wake up, everyone," shouted Ginger. "Static did it. He's found Haven." The dogs came up to gather around the screen again. They were awed by pictures of streets lined with blooming trees, flowers of every color along the sidewalks, and pristine homes with beautiful gardens. They continued to stare in fascination as Static scrolled through the results. "According to the map, we might be in for a long walk," Static proclaimed. Peeboo urged Victor to get everyone together so they could all set out to find the humans. But Victor insisted that he was no leader. All the dogs had awakened by now, fervently agreeing that Victor was the perfect one to be in charge. Peeboo looked over at Victor and said, "You are the only one here who can lead us." Victor reluctantly agreed because he knew that Peeboo believed in him.
Good reading, Kimmy. And Emmy says, I think that's your niece, she wants you to read the book to her.
Oh, that's sweet.
Our granddaughter.
Yes, and we saw her earlier. The big dogs did not realize that impact windows are hard to break.
No, they did not.
They learned that
reminds me of an ad we had in Jamaica years ago. Alcohol windows and doors, and the thief trying to break in, and it just can't go in. All right, so you just heard Kimmy reading from the book. In Jamaica, the government and some other agency instituted years ago something called Read Across Jamaica Day. I think it's going to be May 8th this year, and May is Child Month. And so they want to increase literacy and get more of our children reading. And with the passage of Hurricane Melissa, many of our schools lost reading materials, and many schools were damaged. About 600 schools were affected. And so we want to do our part. This is such a fun story with life lessons and values, as you heard from the different endorsers, leadership lessons, stronger together, diversity, and all of those things. So we want you to help us. We're on a mission. We want to donate 100 books to 4 schools, 2 in Westmoreland, 2 in St. Elizabeth, and we're asking you to support our Bamboo Sparks Read Across Jamaica book drive and help us get 100 of these books into the hands of young readers. It's donations begin at $25 for a copy of these books, and for those in the US, you could Zelle it to Jackie. Or you can go on our website. I'm going to show that to you, and it's Bamboo Sparks with a U. And this is the page we have set up, where if you use PayPal, you can contribute, and you can tell us which parish you want to support. Give me a second. Let me scroll down so you can see the page. Right. So in December, we had a children's treat in Westmoreland. We went to Bluefields. We partnered with Belmont Missionary Church, Bluefields Organic Farm. We have an author that side. And we came together and had backpacks. And we had a children's treat. We gave out toys and books, and we want to continue that. So we are supporting the Read Across Jamaica campaign, and this page is particularly set up for Enrico's book. Today we got our first donation. So somebody gave $100, and that's 4 books. We've identified 2 schools in Westmoreland, Meansville Primary and Infant, and the New Hope Primary and Infant. The book is ideal for children ages 8 and over, but it's really for the whole family. So if they can't read, you can read it to them. And we want to see our book being featured on Read Across Jamaica Day, because the media also goes to different schools and take pictures. Sometimes government ministers go and they read different authors all across Jamaica will go pick a school and go read. We hope to do the same, to pick a school and read from this book and show you pictures. So you just need to provide your email address, your name, because we want to send you a thank you letter, the parish you're supporting, number of books, and you click submit. So you would just enter your email. For example, I'm going to put mine here as an example, just to show you how easy it is to fill out the form. Put the school, the parish you're supporting. Like I would just put Westmoreland, and you just click submit. And when you click submit, you should get a thank you. It says, thank you for supporting our efforts. We've confirmed your donation. And then you don't have to leave the page. Just scroll further down. Those of you in Jamaica, our bank details are there. Or you can go right down. If you have PayPal, use PayPal. If you just have a credit card that can purchase items online, you just click on this black square. First, you have to enter the amount, describe what you're ordering, looking if it's 4 copies you're donating or 3, then you enter the amount. And so I'm going to just do a test run. So I'm going to say one copy of Looking for Haven. And I'm going to put the dollar amount, $25. And then you would click debit or credit. And then it will ask you for the information. Easy cheesy. The credit card number, your address, and then you click pay. It's run by PayPal, so it is secure, but you don't need a PayPal account. If you do have a PayPal account, you can use the PayPal part. So that's what the form looks like. So help us we need 96 more copies to give away, because we got 4 copies today. So if you are going to support us, let us know. Or Jackie, if they want to get through to you by Zelle, how does that work?
Well, it goes to my account, and then the books are going to be. I suppose you'd have the books in
Yeah,
Jamaica
we have some in
to
Jamaica.
deliver them to the schools, and then you will now provide. I will send over the information, and then you can then email the purchaser or the person making the donation to them to let them know that, so they can use it for their tax purposes, or just
Yes.
as something for their files.
Awesome sauce. So I'll put the Zelle information. I think we did a Zelle for an author years ago, and she gave us like an email or something. So I'll
Yeah, you
add
could
it to the
give my
page.
email. You could give
Yes.
my email.
I'll add it to the page. So thank you so much for having joined us. Do you guys have any questions before we close out for the family? I know some persons asked before, and there are some congratulations going out. So proud of the Nunez family for the excellent project execution and support.
Thanks,
From
Pat.
Bamboo Sparks. Well done. Great way to give back to the community. And such a fitting way to end with the dogs in the background. I just want to say it has been a privilege working
Those are
with
the
you.
mongrel dogs.
Yes,
Those are
those
the dogs.
no, they're called Caribbean Terriers.
Caribbean.
Right.
Terriers.
Yes, Caribbean Terriers. Any final words, especially from you, Mr. Nunez, for anybody thinking of writing a book, a children's book? Any final words to encourage them as we
Any
close
book
out?
or children's
From
book.
your experience, if they're thinking of writing a children's book, give them some word of advice.
Just start writing. Just write it down on paper. Think about what you want to write. Just start writing. It may not come to you right away, but just write. Whatever come to mind, just start writing it, or typing it, or talk it into a phone, or just start it. Then but you have conceived the story first. What you want to write about. What is the story about? You gotta have a beginning, and some writers said I don't have an end when I start, but I figure it's easier to get a story together if you have a beginning and a perceived end. You cannot change the end afterwards, but it has to have somewhere to stop.
All right, thank you. Any final words, Kimmy, and then Jackie?
Wanted to thank you for your patience with us. I know sometimes you were waiting for us to get things together.
Meet the deadlines.
It was a lot of fun working on this, and I'm looking forward to working on book 2.
Other books.
Yes.
And Daddy has a lot of ideas in his head for other books, so stay tuned. And I wanted to thank everybody who was watching and commenting. I see a lot of familiar names in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to us.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Marcel is asking, when can we expect the next book?
Tell Marcel he has to wait. Once they get into the town, they'll know what's happening there.
And that's why we want you to join his mailing list. You'll be hearing more about that. And when you donate too, you become part of that community where we can keep you up to date. Fine. The final words are yours, Jackie.
Oh, well, I think I had I mentioned how happy we are that we were able to get in contact with you through Nadine. Thank you, Nadine, for making this, helping to make this possible for us. With Bamboo Sparks, and again, the patience, the professionalism that you portray to us, and helping us along the way to complete this project was very good. I really appreciate all that you've done, and I look forward to the next books that Rico is going to write and that we're going to help him with.
Awesome sauce. And then we are going to turn parts of this into a podcast episode. So on Monday, we are going to be hearing this on the podcast. And of course, we send out the YouTube link so that those who didn't watch live can watch it again. And my podcast, the Entrepreneur Secrets podcast, is among the top 50 self-publishing podcasts and top 50 book marketing podcasts in the world. Aired in over 97 countries. So we're trying to get the word out.
Wow.
You know?
Amazing.
So I will let you know. We're going to ramp up the promotions as we go forward. Thanks again, and congrats on such an inspiring work. And all the best for book 2.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, bye, everyone.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. Remember, go get the book.